heart of gaming and the biggest video game convention on planet Earth. Over 370,000 hardcore video game fans. One building. Over 1,000 video game exhibitors from more than 50 video game loving countries. Gamescom 2019 is here, and IGN is covering it all with 5 full days of non-stop video game reveals, trailers, exclusive gameplay footage, interviews, show floor booth tours, and more. Day 5 of Gamescom 2019 is here, the final day of Gamescom, and IGN is closing out the show with a full day celebrating all the best stuff here at Gamescom, with an award show where we recognize the best new games that Gamescom has to offer. Who will win the award for the best video game on Earth? Well, would you believe it? It's you. You've had the power inside you all along, you just didn't know it. You're the best, and we love you. And there's even more to love coming up ahead, so don't go anywhere, because IGN Live's non-stop coverage of Gamescom 2019 begins right now.
Oh, we're doing it? We're doing it. We're live. We're here. We are here in Germany. We have been here for 5 days. This is the last day of Gamescom, the heart of gaming. I'm Max, and I'm joined by Brian and Seb, who have also been here for 5 days.
This is absolute madness. This is unlike any show in the world.
This is wild. If we seem a little bit low energy, it's because we're very, very tired. And if we seem too high energy, it's because we're doing this in front of a massive crowd.
And we're so hyped, right?
This is a little bit jittery, a little bit nervous, but very exciting. We're gonna be. This is the first time that we've awards have been done in front of a big crowd on Gamescom.
Yeah, I mean, even in the consumer booth with a crowd
look,
like
there's
that.
there's a crowd right there.
The crowd is amazing.
Look at that. That's so
Give it up for that crowd.
There's a robot out there too.
There's a robot.
Where's the robot?
Yeah, in the back.
Right there in the back.
Show me in the background. Yeah.
There it is.
So
that's just crazy.
That is the official Gamescom robot, the GameSpot from AJ Design, which is, I don't think I've ever done anything like this in front of a crowd this big, or one with a robot in it.
No, this is awesome. It's hard to understand how gigantic this show is.
I love that. So yeah, we're going to be giving out a whole bunch of awards, which is very fun. Full disclosure, I've never done an award ceremony before. I've seen them before, but to help me out, we've got
the award for Best New Presenter is Max
Best
Scoville.
New Presenter.
Give it up for Max.
No, but we've got Sid and Leone out on the balcony here. Our first award is for Best of Campus. For context, Seb, what is Campus? Is that demon that kidnaps children at Christmas time and puts them in a bag?
No,
right?
that's Krampus.
Sorry, I always
Krampus,
mixed up.
Austria, but very close. I mean, this is everything that is not like directly related to gaming. That's something that's not in the booths happening. Mostly it's happening outside, or you have to find it, and it's very unusual. So I think we should have a look at the nominees, maybe.
Okay, so like it's sort of just like are they more sort of physical experiences, kind of stuff you have to be here to see?
And usually universities are involved, or academies that kind of want to pull it like to next level.
Yeah. No, I appreciate this because this is a massive video game convention. It's the biggest in the world. It's bigger than E3 and everything. This is a huge celebration of gigantic AAA booths. You know, we've seen Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation. Those guys get so much love. And so to narrow in on one award and kick off the award show with something like special and unique and independent, I really, really appreciate that.
I mean, there's a ton of intelligent people out there working on these games, and Campus actually, shows these people behind the scenes. They're working on these amazing games that we're celebrating every year here at Gamescom, and I think this category is super important to have it like first row.
No, it's a really exciting time for games because not just can people sort of, indie gaming is huge and it wouldn't be possible without the internet, but there's still that wonderful, like the physical in-person experience of like walking up to something and being like, what is this game? Which is how games got started with arcades. And to see something that's so like homebrew and made by students, made by fellow gamers, it's very exciting and it's
inspiring.
Yeah,
honestly.
Right.
Yeah,
it's like inspiring is the word.
The best part of going to gaming events like this.
Yep, absolutely.
Now, anyway, for the Best of Campus, our first award, we're going now to Sid and Leone out on the stage for the nominees.
Thanks so much, Max. So as said, I am Sydney Goodman. I'm here with the lovely Leone.
Hello, how's it going?
And we are in the heart of Gamescom. We are in the chaos of it all. Behind us is this massive crowd, and they are so excited. And we are just continuing this wonderful celebration of video games. So our very first award, the nominees for Best Campus is Drop Motion, Echoes of Etria, and Supersize Hero. And our winner is Supersize Hero. Come on down and get your award.
Oh my God, congratulations. Okay, willst du da einmal was sagen? Do you want to say something?
Just want to say thank you. Can't believe you won. Thank you very much.
Thanks. One big applause for him and his award.
You'll go that way. That's incredible. Now let's toss it back to the studio and hear more about Supersize Hero.
Supersize Hero is a game that I'm dying to play. I wish I could just sneak off and go check it out at
Yeah,
campus.
we should just sneak out, right?
Yeah, that'd be good. So here to tell us about it. Congratulations.
Congratulations, man. That's amazing.
That's awesome.
So Supersize Hero is a VR game where you have to wear like a big super suit, and you, as the title would suggest, you play like a sort of a heftier superhero.
Yes, that's right.
Now this is, I believe, the first VR game where you've had motion controls on like the belly button. Is that?
Yeah, that's right. You have to bounce the bad guys with it.
With your belly.
Yeah, with your belly.
That's good. I have a belly, and so
Yeah, same here.
It makes me feel included in the world of gaming to be able to do that.
Well, does it mean that I'm more successful in the game when my belly is bigger?
Yeah.
Potentially.
Sure.
So we're looking at some gameplay right here. Obviously, this is one of the most unique video games I've ever seen in my entire life. Very
Thank you so
funny.
much.
What was the inspiration behind this?
We just it was a semester work, and yeah, we were like we were very funny about the fat suit, so we had one who created it, and yeah, it was so funny to do it, and yeah, it was awesome.
Now, what's next for this character? Because I sort of want to see him included in like the MCU. I would love to see a movie based on this character. You know, $250 million budget just for starters.
That would be awesome.
I think so.
Yeah, we also have 3 trailers for it. Maybe we can see them later, and yeah, at our place at 10.2 in the area. And it was, yeah, we did 3 trailers to the game, so they're also promoting there.
That's awesome.
I mean, is this something at university, when you look at people, usually what people do at university is drinking. Is this the direct result of what is, well, basically coming out of you creatively when you think of, okay, what could I do to pass this semester? It's a VR game that basically is about you fighting the bad guys with your belly.
Your beer belly.
Yeah, your beer belly.
Yeah, beer belly.
Now, I think like VR experiences are frequently sort of more clumsy and awkward than regular reality, even if they are sort of precision fine-tuned. And this seems to almost like lean into that clumsiness. Was that sort of part of the idea behind it?
We like the idea that you can touch your belly in real life and in the VR, in the virtual reality, so you get more into it, and then you're like, I mean, the people forget where they are when they play our game, so that's very awesome.
What do you think it's going to take to get VR accepted by the masses? I feel like every year we have this conversation, it's getting closer and closer. You know, we've got stuff like Oculus Quest, PSVR, you know, more mainstream entry versions of that. What's it going to take for everyone in the world to be like, yes, VR is here?
I think the first stuff is to get how to walk.
Yeah.
Because walking is always the main problem. We did a technique where we tried to like swing your arms and like hold a button, and that's enough to not get motion sick.
Yeah.
Well, that's already great. I mean, motion sickness is like the biggest problem for me.
Yep,
It's
same
usually
here.
the reason why I don't play VR.
Yeah.
Awesome. I was going to say, like, you put a motion controller on the belly. What other body part would you want to do that to? And then you're like walking. I'm like, put some motion sensors on feet. And see
The
what
good thing
happens.
is the belly is so big you can't see your feet, so we don't have to do like feet and stuff. So.
Yeah, I mean, most first-person shooters, you can't see the feet, so I'm just going to assume it's because of your belly.
And the belly is also very good to, like, when you want to grab something and stuff, it's like you feel it. And I love it.
Well,
That's
congratulations.
just amazing.
Thank you so much for coming on.
All right,
Thank
we're
you.
going to
Congrats
check
on the
in real
award.
quick with that big, huge crowd out there. GameSpot, how they doing?
Look at that robot. That is amazing.
It's got a good view.
Reggie Fils-Aimé is retiring.
Eagle-eyed fans are combing through every last frame.
I can't prepare.
Oh.
Stay right here on IGN.
And keep it locked to IGN.
IGN Now. New news that's new to you.
Introducing the all-new Up It News.
Don't touch it.
What's wrong with you?
Get corn snack. Game sucks. Bring it back.
Up at noon, weekends on IGN and YouTube.
Fact. IGN is better at video games than all other outlets.
All video games. Who's a good boy?
We're also the best at being incredibly humble.
I just on you, kid.
I got him.
Yes, yes, yes.
Leicht zu verteilen. Deswegen.
That robot.
And we are back. This is Gamescom, or IGN at Gamescom now. We are here. This is the last day. This is the award ceremony.
That's right.
This is the fun part. Next up, we've got something. I've always been very fond of indie games. That's a very vague concept in this day and age. It just means sort of games that are independently developed, and that can mean massive, huge AAA experiences. It can mean like weird little single pixel, strange stuff. But yeah, indie games. I like them.
The list of nominees was like super long.
Yeah.
And the indie arena here at Gamescom is like almost a full hall of just amazing people, small teams developing great games.
No, it's absolutely massive, and I think it speaks to the larger story of what Gamescom is. It is not just big booths. It is tiny booths. It's tiny stories everywhere coming together. The indie area here is as big as some other trade shows in the world are.
No, it's
like,
100, I think it's over 100 games from like 40-something countries. It's crazy. And that's, I mean, conventions like this are such a perfect experience for experiencing that kind of stuff. I mean, you get, it's just a discoverability I feel like you don't really have as much on the internet. There's not that kind of like walking by something and going, oh, what's this? And, and it feels like, being in an arcade. Like,
and I mean, for most people, for most teams that are super small, it's the only chance to actually to meet other people, journalists, and other developers, because they cannot really afford their own booth. So they are part of the indie village. It's like a great community coming together and showing off what they've been working on for so long.
It's also like when you look at the AAA space, it's sort of a known quantity. There's so many moving parts. It's hundreds of people take to make a game. And when that happens, you have a lot of cooks in the kitchen. Indie games get weird. And that's why I love them. They get artsy, they get weird, they get strange. They bring in, people have custom soundtracks, they make their own art. There are games developed by one individual person who does the animation and the voice acting and the music and everything. And so to bring all that together, tell these crazy, awesome, weird stories, it speaks to me of like why I care about gaming to begin with. Because it's not just about the biggest stories in the world, it's also about like cool, weird stuff.
Yeah, and also, I mean, it's a chance to get games directly from the people making them to the people playing them. It kind of cuts out the middleman. I mean, when you play like a big AAA game, like obviously they're going to pay attention to sort of gamer feedback, but there's the sort of the behind closed doors NDA agreement, focus group testing, but indie devs will just be like, hey, we made this game and we want people to play it, so here it is. What do you think? And if you're like, wow, that guy walks too slow, they'll be like, interesting. We'll work on that.
Yeah, and it's it's an interesting title because it's like, what makes an indie game? Is it one person, 3 people, 5 people? Does their publisher or distributor change the way that is perceived by the audience? But I think regardless, this is a medium we want to celebrate, and this is a place to do it.
And usually I'm really happy that we have this category because it shows visions that are clear from let's say, interference. From publishers, big publishers. I mean, we know all the stories of big games that sometimes get ruined by too much interference.
I mean, think about how many AAA developers have quit to make their own indie games. So
right.
Yeah. Now we are going to go out to the main stage right now for the nominees for Best Indie Game.
Thanks, Max. So we are here on the stage again. People are stoked. They continue to be stoked. And we are going to be checking out the nominees for Best Indie Game. So we have El Hijo, Genesis Noir, Minutes of Islands, Mosaic, and Unheard. And the winner is El Hijo.
Yeah, thank you. It's overwhelming. Thank you very much. This goes out to the Honey Studios team and our awesome publisher. Come play the game in the indie arena. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much for this game. I played it. It was super cool.
And we're going to check back with the studio to hear more about El Hijo.
So El Hijo is that's Spanish for the sun, and this is it's a stealth Western game about a son trying to get back out. He's trying to escape and get back to his mother.
That's right.
To tell us about it, one of the guys who made it.
Yeah, thanks. It's you're a boy and you live with your mom at a farmhouse which is being burned down by bandits, and the mom brings you to to a monastery to go take out revenge on the bandits. So your only goal is to go find your mom.
Now, this game has a very sort of like children's storybook looking art. It's really beautiful. How did you guys decide to go with this look?
Well, it was a process. We had the story first, then we thought about the game mechanics, and stealth fit very well to such a topic. And then we did research and thought to play a lot with light and shadow to help Elijo sneak and hide. And yeah, this kind of evolved.
And you're heavily influenced by sort of spaghetti westerns and Sergio Leone. I gotta ask, are there any fantasy elements here, or any like monsters or anything, or is it just?
No, the monsters are the adults.
I like that. That's
just
true.
like in real life.
So true.
It's true.
What other influences did you look to for this game?
Definitely spaghetti westerns. There's also musically a lot of influences from blues and New Orleans jazz. Movies, of course, inspiration was Jodorowsky's El Topo.
Oh, El Topo. That's like what Max and I
yeah.
talk about El Topo all the time. It's like one of our favorite movies.
El Topo starts.
Yeah. Obviously, classic stealth games have been around for a very long time. Some of the earliest I remember playing are Metal Gear, but specifically, there's a scene in Ocarina of Time where Link has to sneak into the castle. I feel like I'm seeing like notes of that here. Was any of that an inspiration?
Sure. Lots of games have been inspiration. We've been being inspired and stealing ideas all the time, and the indie games are the ones that are the core of our source of inspiration.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, looking at the story, it seems like to have a very sad background. How important was it for you to catch the audience by bringing such a emotionally heavy background to that game?
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to start in such a story world where things are look bleak, but very soon within the game things take a twist, and Elijo starts taking command of his life and of his experience and goes on his own quest.
Excellent. Well, congratulations.
Congratulations.
This, like Seb was saying, this is a very, very hard category to pick a winner for, because there's so many great indie games out there. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to check in with that gigantic crowd out there. How you guys doing?
We are throwing chairs into the audience.
Oh my God.
It's Corrado.
It's turned into 90s wrestling. Don't do it.
So Leute, wer hat noch Bock auf ein Shirt? Hier, ihr da hinten, ich hab's gesehen.
Fact. IGN is better at video games than all other outlets.
All video games. Who's a good boy?
We're also the best at being incredibly humble.
I just on you, kid.
I got him.
Yes. Hey, Nick, did you hear about the new Marvel news?
No, what happened? What happened? Hey, what happened? Tell me.
Has this ever happened to you? Good news! It doesn't have to! The Daily Fix is here every day with a concentrated dose of all that gaming, movie, TV, streaming, internet, and puppy news you need to survive the work week. All right, so puppy news isn't on it yet, but I'm working on it. Roll the thing!
It's a huge crowd. Oh no, he gave him the duck.
And welcome back. This is IGN at Gamescom now. We are giving away water bottles to giant robots and awards to developers and people making really cool stuff that's on display here at Gamescom. And if that wasn't crazy enough, we're also playing musical chairs. Joining me from out on the stage is now Sid.
Surprise.
Hey Sid, how you doing?
Hi, good.
Hanging
The
in there?
walk from outside to inside was exhilarating.
That's good. How is that robot in person? Because we're stuck in glass.
So I haven't actually gotten to be neck and level with it, but it's giant. It's basically the size of at least 2 people. Like, it has to be.
So that is actually on display technically in the cosplay village here?
Yes, I actually got to go. I did a package over with AJ Designs, and what they have is incredible. It's crazy.
They've got a couple Transformers. They've got a Jaeger from Pacific Rim.
Yep.
I mean, I think
and people can go inside. I think that's what was the most impressive to me, is that there's it fits a human.
Yeah, like I'm always kind of weird with cosplay. You think like, oh, it's a costume, which is clothing, and then people get crazy with that to the point that you're like, is that more of a vehicle? I think that's maybe an installation.
Yeah.
But anyway, talking about building mechs is actually a perfect segue for our next award, which is Best Hardware and Technology.
Right.
Now, Brian, what is technology?
Technology is everything around us made of anything we've ever seen before. Really, it's everything and nothing at the same time. So the true answer is, I have no idea.
Sid, what about you?
Dang it.
No, obviously.
Did I steal your answer?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I mean, gaming wouldn't be possible without technology, and it's a constantly updated, iterated upon medium. It's so cool to see cutting edge stuff coming out. I mean, a few years ago, VR was that was a thing from the 90s. What's that all about? And now that's a main talking point. You know, people are. Nintendo came out with the Switch. Like, where did that come from?
Yeah,
all sorts of.
I think it's easy to forget how that video games is like an art form within technology, and that what you're actually playing is possible because of all these parts and all these developers developing things.
Yeah. No, it's a perfect meeting of art and science, essentially.
I would completely agree. Well, anyway, without further ado, let's check in with the stage with the awards.
Hier ist der Award, würde ich sagen. Hi, Sebastian.
Was ist hier los? Was ist das für eine Crowd?
Eskalation ist hier los!
Unfassbar, was hier los ist. Wir haben Best Hardware für euch und das war echt nicht einfach. Ja, wir gucken uns einfach mal, würde ich sagen, die Liste der Nominierten an, oder?
Was machen wir?
Einmal nominiert war Red Magic 3.
Okay.
Dann haben wir ein Oldie but Goldie, Sega Mega Mini Drive oder Drive
gut.
Mini. Und dann natürlich, last but not least, wir haben den Xbox Elite Wireless Controller Series 2.
Da war ich sogar am Booth gewesen, nicht schlecht.
I think we should announce the winner, right?
Yeah, let's get the winners.
Who's gonna be the winner?
Wollt ihr wissen, wer den besten Controller hat?
So the winner for Best Hardware Tag, let's see. It's the Xbox Elite Controller Series 2, guys!
Oh my god, amazing!
Congratulations! Come over here. Oh my god. Don't fall off the stage, please.
Well, we're keeping you here. We're like entangling you.
Oh, show that beauty off into the camera, please. Show off the controller.
Well, first of all, super excited to be here. Thank you. Thank you in the name of the engineers and designers that put a lot of thought and care into this product. And all the community has been stopping by the booth, playing with it, really experiencing something that we feel is special.
Right.
Thank you.
So I'd say, let's talk about it in details. Thank you very much for being here. Congrats. And
Cheers.
back to the studio.
And we're back. Microsoft obviously has been making controllers for quite some time now. The Xbox 360 controller was phenomenal. The Xbox One took improvements on that, and the Elite kicked it up a notch. And then they iterated further upon that with a bunch of bells and whistles to let people customize it for themselves. So that's a hell of a controller.
Yeah.
Joining us now to talk about it and hopefully show it off. Hey Dan, how's it going?
Pretty good. Really excited to be here.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming. I was going to hold the microphone for you since you have so much in your hands, but no, you're doing a good job. I will hold the controller because that's the winner here, right?
Yeah, when you win for hardware, you get to bring props, which
Now,
is fantastic.
traditionally, we think of video game consoles as a thing that we get once every 4 or 5 years, and maybe there's slight improvements. You guys are sort of changing the conversation by taking controllers and iterating them mid-generation. How did that begin? How did that sort of push towards evolution start happening?
Well, I think we kicked it off with trying to make a special product for our most, passionate fans, and that came with, the first version of the Elite controller. And over, 4 years of its life, we, took in a lot of feedback and improved in around 30 new features for this one. And yes, as you mentioned, we're trying to be more iterative about our hardware designing process. Even on the console side, we did that with the Xbox One X as well. And yeah, really excited.
How has feedback been from the people who've gotten their hands on this?
Well, it's when you pick it up in hand, it feels like a tank.
Yeah, it really you guys all have to hold this.
Yeah, it's a tactile feeling, how balanced and weighted it is. Ooh. And when you show people how many different ways that you can customize it, and you talk about the battery, which lasts a lifetime and a half. Jokes aside, it's 40 hours.
Yeah.
Yes, the reception has been fantastic.
Wonderful. Well, Xbox definitely keeps busy with controllers. There's that. There's the accessibility stuff. There's the customized, make your own weird color controllers. We have lots more coming up. But first, let's check up with the crowd. Let's see how it's going out there. Did that robot get the mug? Let's see.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Yeah, have an awesome day.
Fact. IGN is better at video games than all other outlets.
All video games. Who's a good boy?
We're also the best at being incredibly humble.
I just on you, kid.
I got him.
Yes! Introducing the all-new Up It Nudes! Up It Nudes' new and improved recipe is chock full of lists, let's plays, unboxings, special guests, goofs, guffaws, and other content too stupid for regular weekdays.
Like some sort of color-changing reptile stripper man.
I'm doing it.
Don't touch it.
What's wrong with you?
Get corn snack. Game sucks. Bring it back.
Up at Noon, weekends on IGN and YouTube.
Welcome back. This is IGN at Gamescom now. We are giving away lots of awards to people who make games and stuff, and lots of all sorts of prizes and things to people who are here watching us in the crowd. For context, the man in the pink shirt who's getting really excited out there is Corrado, who's been producing this whole thing.
That's right. Former WWF wrestler and Miami DJ Corrado is here tonight, and we're so excited to have him.
And he's loving it.
That's right. It's really eating up that crowd.
But the crowd is crazy out there. You have no idea, guys. Like, they're eating up everything.
I think this whole thing was a long con because he wanted to do this.
There he is. This is actually Kevin Federline's cousin. A lot of people don't know this. This is like really good. It's good news.
Anyway, we have lots of stuff to give away, all sorts of prizes and stuff for the people out there, but also prizes for people who make games and cool stuff to go with that. Our next category is going to be for the best VR AR game. This is, like I was just saying, this is something we didn't think we'd be talking about at, I don't know, 10 years ago?
Yeah, no, I mean, if you look at like 90s arcade games when they were experimenting with VR and it just didn't work, and it costs a lot of money, now we're at a point where that's actually consumer level, it's ready, you can bring multiple VR devices in your home, you can even bring someone on an airplane, like it's everywhere now.
And I remember that the first AR games when the first, I think it was iPhone number 8 or 10 or something. Yep. I remember that I used the camera for an AR shot and it basically almost exploded in my hand. And now we can just do it on the run. You can play Pokemon Go. It's a sort of AR feature stuff involved.
Absolutely, yeah. It's all over the world. It's incredibly cool to see like gaming evolve in different directions like that.
Yeah, and it's wild. I mean, it doesn't even have to be conventional gaming. It can be these entirely bizarre, immersive experiences. So it's really exciting to see that. There was a point like I remember like demoing the very first like Oculus like dev kit with the gaffer tape around it. It was in this like tiny little stuffy booth at PAX West a million years ago, and I was like, this is cool. I hope this takes off. And now it's reached a point where I can't even keep track of all the different headsets that are out there.
Right.
So.
Yeah, right. And it's getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah. No. Anyway, without any further ado, let's go check in with the nominees.
So we're out here. We're in the chaos of Gamescom. They're hyped. We're excited to talk best VR AR game. So the nominees are Journey to Elysium, and Marvel's Iron Man VR. Yeah, let's hear it for the nominees. And the winner is Marvel's Iron Man VR.
Oh. All right, congratulations. Here's your award, great VR games. You want to say some words? Please come in the middle. I'll save you my seat, and here you go.
Yeah, thank you very much. I accept this award on behalf of the development team of Camouflage, who have been really bravely demoing the game here, but had to leave already. So we're really proud of it, and it's fantastic. We wouldn't have thought of this a few years ago when we started VR.
Check out Iron Man VR. It's over there in the booth. Thank you so much. And please join the guys inside.
And we will actually also join the guys inside to talk some Marvel's Iron Man VR.
Yeah, so if you haven't gotten a chance to, put your hands on it or it on your head, Iron Man VR is an incredible experience. It really makes you feel like Iron Man, but it does. It's got the whole.
Yeah.
That's very true. Here to talk about it is Jochen Farber from Sony.
Hi, nice to be here.
Thank you so much for coming.
I feel.
Yeah, I just want to say right off the bat, I really appreciate PlayStation's approach right now to superheroes. They're, isolated Spider-Man game that kicked ass, and now we have an Iron Man game. This is like, people sort of have seen these superheroes as like, you bring everyone together and you do this big game with hundreds of them, but focusing on individual characters and letting each one of them shine, it has been really working for you guys.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic experience. I mean, with the Spider-Man, the success we had last year, and VR is, well, it's still a relatively new thing. Obviously, it's not the new tech anymore. We've seen quite a bit in the past few years, but now I think it really comes to life now if you see the second, third generation of VR games, like full-grown VR games like Astrobot or Blood and Truth, and Iron Man is the next thing we're going to see, and we're going to see a lot more in the future coming up.
Iron Man easily could have been a traditional open-world video game where Iron Man flies around a city and saves people, but instead it's a first-person VR game. Why did the studio decide to go with that direction?
Well, I can only talk to a certain extent about the studio. So really sorry that they can't be here. I mean, obviously, Iron Man lends itself to it. I mean, you're in the suit, you're seeing the world through Iron Man's eyes, and with some of the accessories like the Move controllers, which really lend themselves to have the rockets in your hands, and that's something which you couldn't do in third person, or it wouldn't feel as immersive in third person
that's
as
very true. I remember
in first person, obviously.
I remember when I watched the first Iron Man movie, it was something that I really wanted to have for my own at home, like this interface, and I just wanted to maneuver through the streets or on my bicycle, just like going like, oh yeah, look to the right, look to the left.
Which is very dangerous, by the way.
I know.
Like, VR is so high tech. That's such a Tony Stark thing to be dealing with. To do sort of a conventional game is almost like, I feel like he'd be more inclined to jump in a VR game. Anyway, we've got to take a quick break in just a minute, but let's check out with that stage, see what they're doing out there.
Alles klar, wie geht's euch, Gamescom? Wir haben gleich innerhalb der nächsten halben Stunde, 20 Minuten. Kommt saftiges Gnu, habt ihr Bock?
Hey, Nick, did you hear about the new Marvel news?
No, what happened? What happened? Hey, what happened? Tell me.
Has this ever happened to you? Good news! It doesn't have to! The Daily Fix is here every day with a concentrated dose of all that gaming, movie, TV, streaming, internet, and puppy news you need to survive the work week. All right, so puppy news isn't on it yet, but I'm working on it. Roll the thing!
Reggie Fils-Aimé is retiring. Eagle-eyed fans are combing through every last frame.
I can't prepare.
Oh.
Stay right here on IGN.
And keep it locked to IGN.
IGN Now. New news that's new to you.
Introducing the all-new A Bit News.
Don't touch it. What's wrong with you? Get corn snack. Game sucks. Bring it back.
A Bit Noon. Weekends on IGN and YouTube.
Welcome back. This is IGN at Gamescom now. If you're just tuning in, we are giving out all sorts of awards. I'm here with Seb and Brian. Our next category is the best ongoing game. There was a point in time where like you would get a game and that was it. The thing that came in the box was what you were stuck with for better or for worse.
Right.
And that has definitely changed.
No, absolutely.
I mean, it's a hard time for people to actually, to make sure that their games expand. And I mean, we have so many examples on like out there that sometimes they fail to do that. If you buy a game, you expect that there will be content after launch, right?
No, absolutely. Yeah, and I think it's like some people buy into that with that expectation, and when it doesn't deliver, you're sort of left with like this empty promise. But there's a lot of games out there that have managed to just be something that exists forever, to the point where you even forget the year they came out. You know, you look at something like Fortnite that has just continued to dominate, and it's because they are constantly keeping that audience enthralled, entertained, and finding them, things for them to do.
And I mean, part of that is, the technology and what they're doing with the game, like physically, like new content drops, new DLC, expansions, or whatever. But also, some of that is just community management and just making sure that the audience is staying engaged and keeping in touch with them, and really, keeping an ear to the ground and making sure, they know what's going on. But yeah, let's check in with the stage and see what these nominees are.
We were really cut down, right? Because this segment.
This is incredible. I'm like so impressed.
And we're out here, and obviously the crowd's out here too, and they are excited. We are talking best ongoing game. The nominees are Apex Legends Season 2, Monster Hunter World Iceborne, and Sea of Thieves. The winner is Monster Hunter Iceborne.
Nice. All right. Here we go. And you also brought some cosplayers. This is your award. Congratulations. If you want to say a piece, please come here. And yes, this is your applause.
Yes, it was so amazing. Really, thank you. Thanks to our great community who voted for us, who are supporting us. We really do our best for you, and hope you're going to enjoy Monster Hunter World Iceborne when it starts in 2 weeks. And yeah, the hunt never stops, so let's get hunting again.
All right, you're going to talk a bit more about the game and how you're feeling inside. I'm not sure if you can bring these fantastic guys, or I'll keep them around for a bit for safety. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Give it up, Monster Hunter Iceborne.
And back to the studio to talk Monster Hunter World Iceborne.
The Monster Hunter franchise has been going strong for quite some time now, but Monster Hunter World really kind of came in swinging and proceeded to sell 13 million copies worldwide, which is quite a big community to keep happy. Joining us now, community manager Stephanie.
Yes, hi. Thanks for having me.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's such a blast. I'm really flattered. This is, I mean, like for a community manager, it's so great that our community voted for us and they are so supportive for us. I mean, we're always giving our best to entertain them, to be there for them, to listen to their feedback. And yes, it's so great that we get all this back from our fans.
You seem genuinely excited right now, and I really appreciate that. Like, this is an awesome moment for you guys. What makes this game so enduring that people keep coming back to it and keep coming back to it?
I guess first we have big monsters.
Yeah.
And we have the biggest and coolest monsters.
That's
this
true.
Is really important, and we have a lot of varieties and weapons to play. And each weapon you can invest a lot of time to master it, but you still have some tweaks to still learn, and it's a game which never stops.
It's a world. It's a
world, and it's amazing. And yes, it's full of the hunt, and you always want to get better and faster, and yeah, it never stops.
Right.
Now, over the years, Monster Hunter has dropped all sorts of sort of bonus characters in there, like extra, supporting guests. I think you put Geralt showed up from The Witcher. He sort of crossed universes.
Mario, Sonic, everybody has sort of made an appearance in this game at some point.
We also had Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn as a kind of guest character. And yes, this is really special for Monster Hunter. We always like to do cooperations, even in company. Like we had Dante from Devil May Cry as well, or Mega Man. You even could listen to the Mega Man sounds in the quest, where you can get an outfit for your Palico, which looks like Mega Man then.
No, the game has almost become a sort of a celebration of the video game medium, and we appreciate that. So keep that going.
Is there anything else you want to tell the crowd before we leave?
Just thank you. You are amazing. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, we're going to check in with the stage right now and see what's going on out there.
Reggie Fils-Aimé is retiring. Eagle-eyed fans are combing through every last frame.
I came prepared.
Oh.
Stay right here on IGN.
And keep it locked to IGN.
IGN Now. New news that's new to you.
Introducing the all-new A Bit News.
Don't touch it. What's wrong with you? Get corn snack. Game sucks. Bring it back.
A Bit Noon. Weekends on IGN and YouTube.
Fact. IGN is better at video games than all other outlets.
All video games. Who's a good boy?
We're also the best at being incredibly humble.
I just on you, kid.
I got him.
Yeah. Whoa. Yes, yes, yes.
I can't even take him seriously. Welcome back to IGN at Gamescom now. We are presenting awards for the coolest stuff to come out of this wonderfully huge convention, the heart of gaming in the heart of Cologne.
That's right.
Our next category is something that everyone should be familiar with. It's multiplayer. But some people are really bad at it, like me and Brian.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are bad at it.
Sid, you're awesome. You play a ton of
Thank you.
multiplayer
That's so
games.
nice. I do. I play a ton of multiplayer games, and I mean, I'm extremely competitive, and I like to fight my friends and show them that I'm better
Is that a
than
threat?
them at video games. Yeah, it's a threat.
Okay, fine.
Brian,
It's yours.
Showdown.
I'm tired and old, so it's all yours. You win.
But it's also, I mean, it's so great. It's a way that I play with my dad and my brother at least once a month, and it's just it's social and it's fun, and it brings this extra element to video games, which is already something we love, and kind of like takes it to the next level where you can connect, you can compete, you can, you know, can play endgame content with your friends. Like, multiplayer just is something that adds so much more meat to the pie of video games.
I mean, it creates a sort of
pie
social
of
element.
video
The pie of video games.
A delicious treat.
No, but I mean, when you stop and think about it, multiplayer is such an incredibly broad category. Like, we got a Tetris Battle Royale game this year. That is technically multiplayer.
Yep.
And then
amazing.
And then there's like, you know, sort of more story-based stuff like, you know, Destiny and deep, you know, deep raids and things. Which, I mean, there was a point in time where you're like, no, that means like, I don't know, Street Fighter and Call of Duty. But things have definitely changed quite a bit. What's your favorite multiplayer game right now?
I've been playing a lot of Apex.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's fun because it's something that, you know, you play with a team. They only recently did single player, which I haven't played yet. But you play as a team, and you have your friends, and you have a shared goal, and you also get to beat up other people. Like, it's like both competitive and friendly at the same time.
It is, and I appreciate that about multiplayer because it's also a vehicle for you to be aggressive and talk smack and say things to people that you wouldn't normally say in real life or in person, and it's all underneath the bubble of the multiplayer game, and then it's like it's all
good.
apologies afterwards.
Exactly.
Good to go.
Anyway, we are going to check in with the stage right now for the nominees. Let's see what's going on out there.
Oh my God, Leone, what is happening?
I don't know, the crowd's going wild for multiplayers, and so am I, to be honest.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I love multiplayer, I love my friends, and I think it's the best combination ever to spend nights and days of playing together.
And way too much time, and probably most of my education went away for this,
that's
so
very
sorry.
true, yes.
But yeah, I have the nominees for Best Multiplayer, and let me tell you, I've been to all of these booths, and they all have great things to offer. But the nominees are Borderlands 3, Gears 5, and Hunt Showdown. And the
Tell
winner,
me the winner. I want to
winner
know
of
the
the
winner.
category is Borderlands 3.
Yes! Come on stage. Congrats, man. Come right here.
Thank you.
That's your award.
Thank you so much. Thank you on behalf of the whole Gearbox team in Texas and Quebec, everybody at 2K Publishing. This is amazing, and this is all for the fans. Thank you, everybody here at Gamescom. This is amazing.
It's for the fans. I think that's a very good way to wrap it up. Back to the studio for some serious talk about that award.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Get up for Borderlands!
It's obviously been hotly anticipated for quite some time.
Yeah.
Borderlands 2 was in 2012?
Yeah, 7 years between sequels, so obviously...
That's been a cool minute right there.
Yeah.
Clearly, the community's been very busy with cosplay in the meantime.
That cosplay looked incredible.
We're joined by Brian Thomas from Gearbox to talk about Borderlands.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
That is some of the most incredible cosplay I've ever seen. I actually saw a photo of it online yesterday, and seeing it in person is ridiculous.
It is insane. We look at this stuff for years, and it's just, it's a doodle on a piece of paper, and then it's a refined piece of concept, and it's a high poly model, and
Yeah.
then it's finally in game, and it's great, and we like it, and we think our fans are going to like it,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden,
Yeah.
like, we're here, and somebody, like, has put hundreds of hours into this thing that was like, oh, this is a fun idea we had on a Thursday.
It's crazy. Now, one of the things I really appreciate about Borderlands is that in a sea of like very serious, aggressive shooters and all that, Borderlands is fun and playful and goofy and acerbic in many ways. How does that translate over into the multiplayer?
You know, we want you to be able to play with friends,
Right.
and we want you to have fun with friends. So, you know, having the game be an attitude where you're gonna want to laugh, you're gonna want to joke around, you're gonna want to just have fun. And every once in a while, we'll try to make you cry in the middle of it because we tricked you. But you know, that's the whole part of playing with friends and meeting new people online.
That's right.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys are including co-op, which I think, you know, is so important. How did that become a priority to include co-op? I mean, you can visit your friends when they're offline, technically. That's clearly a priority with your team.
Yeah, and we spent a lot of time on Borderlands 3. We knew that was really bread and butter for us. Almost all of our players play co-op at some point during their time with Borderlands franchise. So we really wanted to make sure that for Borderlands 3, we made it easier for you to drop in, drop out with your friends. We included level syncing so that if you've played longer or shorter than your friend, you can still play together and you're not going to be punished for that. And if you want to play it the old retro way, you can, but you know, we just really want to remove those barriers and make it easy for everybody to play all the time in any way that makes them have the most fun.
Hell yeah.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much. I have no doubt that a lot of people will be playing Borderlands 3 very soon. All right. Lots more still to come. We've got a lot of stuff going on. Let's, I guess let's check in out there. In a bit, we're going to be checking out the best esports experience. Let's see what's going on out there.
Congratulations.
Congrats, man. Thank you so much for coming by.
Fact. IGN is better at video games than all other outlets.
All video games. Who's a good boy?
We're also the best at being incredibly humble.
I just on you, kid.
I got him.
Yes. Hey, Nick, did you hear about the new Marvel news?
No, what happened? What happened? Hey, what happened? Tell me.
Has this ever happened to you? Good news! It doesn't have to! The Daily Fix is here every day with a concentrated dose of all that gaming, movie, TV, streaming, internet, and puppy news you need to survive the work week. All right, so puppy news isn't on it yet, but I'm working on it. Roll the thing!
That is like the weirdest musical festival ever out there. You got a man who plays the folding chair. This is IGN at Gamescom now. We are giving out awards for all sorts of stuff and giving out all sorts of merchandise to the crowd who's gathered outside. Our next category is something that at one point, much like VR and AR, was sort of a dream of the future, and it's esports.
That's right. Created by the legendary Eugene Sports, creator of esports.
Yes, Eugene is quite the man.
Really good guy. Thanks to him for creating esports.
Now, we've watched esports kind of go from this thing where, you know, like competitive gaming has always been around, but like competitive gaming in giant arenas with fans screaming and banging stuff around, it's incredible, and it's also incredibly difficult to explain to grown-ups, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's weird because video games always, for the longest time, had this bad rap of being this incredibly isolated thing you did alone in a dark room with the lights off and a huge bag of chips and pizza. And now I'm just describing my personal life. But now it's blown out into this thing that fills stadiums, and it's on TV, and people turn on TV and they're like, "Where's the real sports?" And it's like, get used to it. We're here. We're not going away.
Right. Yeah. And speaking of like the older generation, I actually took my parents to champs for League of Legends.
No way.
They were so confused. And there was an orchestra and there was fire.
Yeah.
And my mom surprisingly was super into it. She loves watching LCS.
You should have said it was Cirque du Soleil.
There you go. No, I mean, it's one of those things, like, being in the moment can really just totally change the experience. And
Totally.
like, hype is infectious, and everyone gets, you know, pretty energetic. We have a little bit of that here at Gamescom. No, I mean, I think it's amazing that that you see so many people congregated watching something that is incredibly technical, and at a glance, you're like, I don't necessarily know what they're doing.
Right.
Yeah, I guess let's check in with the nominees out there. Take it away.
Oh my God, you guys are crazy out here. Crazy. What's also crazy is that like how esports has evolved over the last couple of years, and I know that you Leonie, you are crazy about esports, right?
Yeah, I do. I actually, it's not even a lie. Me and 7 friends, we come to my house every year. I have a giant beamer, and then we watch League of Legends esports and formerly HTC.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not part of an esports game because I hate to lose, and I lose very often. So.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I do. So, but let's talk about the category Best Esports Experience. And since there's so many games, there were just too many people that were nominated. We're gonna skip the nominees.
Oh,
We're gonna announce the winner. We're gonna announce the winner right away.
Okay.
And the winner is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Gamescom Invitational.
Oh my God.
Unfortunately, Nintendo couldn't be here because they're still fighting. They're still fighting for victory. They're still playing.
Fair enough.
So let's go back to the studio and let's say what they gotta say.
And we're back. So Smash is huge. It's a wonderful, huge, like, crazy community. And I love that game as an esport thing, because it's fun to watch people on a professional level.
Right.
Totally. Well, and I feel like so many people have played Smash, you know, casually as a party game, that people relate to watching these pros play and really understand like at how high of a level they're actually playing.
Yeah, I think it's also something we didn't traditionally consider to be an esport, because this is a party game that started out in dorm rooms. You know, people plugged N64 controllers into their N64. They battled with each other. It grew to be this massive celebration of video games that has now brought in characters from literally every franchise ever. If they're not there, people are constantly begging for them. Goku. Every single person has made their way into Smash, and it's become this thing that I think people have really started to take seriously. And I appreciate that, because ultimately it is about like animals beating each other up in space.
There's something just brilliantly surreal about that. Like, not just for this game to exist on its own, but for it to be played in front of, like, you know, thousands of people.
Yep.
I feel like if you went back to, I don't know, 1987 and you were like, here's a view of the future, and it's just like Super Nintendo wrestling with giant coliseums of people watching.
It's Bayonetta kicking Jigglypuff in the mouth and winning, and a crowd going nuts.
Yeah.
It's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I really appreciate that.
Very into that. Anyway, we've got to take a quick break. Let's take a look at the crowd and see what's going on out there.
IGN is better at video games than all other outlets.
All video games. Who's a good boy?
We're also the best at being incredibly humble.
I just on you, kid.
I got him.
Yes, 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 yes.
Introducing the all-new Up It Nudes! Up It Nudes' new and improved recipe is chock full of lists, let's plays, unboxings, special guests, goofs, guffaws, and other content too stupid for regular weekdays.
Like some sort of color-changing reptile stripper man. I'm doing it. Don't touch it. What's wrong with you? Get corn snack. Game sucks. Bring it back.
Up It Noon, weekends on IGN and YouTube.
GNU ist tatsächlich schon backstage. Wir brauchen allerdings noch vorher die Nominierung für den besten Booth. Seid ihr hyped?
Welcome back. This is IGN at Gamescom now. Gamescom is it is literally the biggest gaming convention in the world. Over like 370,000 people show up. We looked it up. The square footage is like 3 million square feet. It is massive. And it's full of giant, huge booths. And the next award is going to be the best booth here at Gamescom.
Yeah, this is a really hard thing to explain to people because it's like video game conventions do conventions different than everyone else does conventions. Our booths here at gaming conventions have 200-foot dragons, the giant like theater-sized screens, hundreds of playable kiosks, activations. There's the Google Stadia booth.
Yeah,
here.
it's a whole building, right?
It's a building with an
three-story
elevator
building
and a twisty slide. Like this is you don't get this at a cooking convention.
Nope.
You know, although you should maybe like a huge pizza.
No, I think that's something that's really key is that sort of the idea of a convention began as sort of, early comic conventions are people getting together with folding tables and trading stuff, and then you get trade shows which had some like more marketing money thrown at them. But like conventions have become like more of this experiential thing where it's I was saying it's almost like a music festival but for games.
Exactly, exactly. That's what it is.
With a little touch of museums as well.
Oh, totally.
I mean, people are really celebrating the games here. Like every booth has a crowd and people are going crazy. And I mean, this is something that is so different from E3, for example, where you have these booths, but they're not even close to being the same size.
No. I mean, this feels like 15 airplane hangars put together. Like this is literally the biggest building I've ever been in. It's insane.
No, it's absolutely crazy. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to narrow down what makes a booth, but it's also hard to comprehend if you haven't been to a show like this.
Right.
We're going to check in with the nominees right now and see what's going on out there on the stage.
So we are about to announce the winner of Best Booth of Gamescom. Ooh, Leonie.
I've actually been to all of them.
You've gone to all of them?
Yeah, because of the field stuff that we did, and we met so many great fans, and all booths are so amazing. They did the most this year. Cosplays everywhere, and such great designs. It was a tough choice.
It definitely was. And speaking of which, there obviously are tons of booths here at Gamescom, so we are not going to list every nominee, but we will say the winner, and the winner is Indie Arena booth.
Ooh, nice. Ooh, and we have a few representators for this. All right. Congratulations.
Thanks so much. Yeah, we are many, we are a lot. We're 109 developers in Hall 10-2. So this award goes to all the developers that are with us this year from 40 nations, 1,000 square meters. It's incredible. Thanks so much.
So
the Indie Arena, if you're here at Gamescom, is Hall 10.2. It is massive. It gets together over 100 games from 40 countries. It's massive. You can go and meet the people making them. It's so cool to see, and it's like seeing indie games in person is one of the best parts of going to a gaming convention. Here to talk about winning this wonderful award, Wolf Lang.
Man, congratulations!
I'm a bit shocked.
But why?
So because I'm a game developer myself. I love Gamescom since I think I'm doing this now for 10 years and 9 years as an exhibitor.
And I was looking forward to the 2K booth, to the Microsoft booth, to all the wonderful booths. And we are doing this now for 7 years with the Indie Arena booth. We started for having our own promotional spots as with our own game studios, but it's very, very hard to afford space. It's very, very hard to run it. And then we had this idea to basically, like a shared apartment, to work together with our friends from the indie community. And we started in 2012 with 10 teams on 30 square meters. Now we are 1,500 square meters and 109 teams from 40 nations.
It just keeps getting bigger.
Yeah.
This is what I love about this, though, because this feels like the table in the high school cafeteria where the art kids and the learners get together, and the table keeps getting bigger, and then all of a sudden you guys can beat up like the jocks and the band kids.
I mean, the system has been flipped upside down, right? I mean, we don't have the money, but we have the people.
and I mean,
everything is built by heart. We never throw away a wall. It's the same walls from 7 years ago because we just can't afford.
So it's like literally the same walls.
Yeah.
So all these big guys are out there recycling walls for their booths and not winning awards. You guys hold on to those walls. Those are lucky walls now.
They're extremely lucky walls.
You have to autograph them.
Yeah. I mean, we paint them over. There's a lot of autographs from creators and developers over the last 7 years. So yeah, a lot of heart and soul in there. So I can't believe that this is happening.
How long does it take to coordinate the Indie Arena?
So you said how long it is to build or to take to organize?
Just to get everyone together, get it. Like, when do you start emailing? Are you going to jump back on that tomorrow morning, or?
So actually, since we are the biggest booth in the world right now for developers, actually people are already at Gamescom. Oh, I have something for next year. So it actually also became built kind of AAA-ish in that sense, that people kind of know, I want to be there next year with my game. So that's amazing. So we actually started planning in January.
So people should start reaching out to you now if they want to be here next year.
Of course.
Be a part of the winning team.
Yeah.
So it's going to be even bigger next year because of the award, right? I love when group effort pays off.
That's right.
Thank you.
Hope so. If you ever go to a gaming event of any kind, check out the indie stuff. It's like a food court of weird games you haven't ever seen before. We're going to check in with one of my favorite people here at Gamescom. It's the GameSpot, the giant robot.
Hey, Nick, did you hear about the new Marvel news?
No, what happened? What happened? Hey, what happened? Tell me.
Has this ever happened to you? Good news! It doesn't have to! The Daily Fix is here every day with a concentrated dose of all that gaming, movie, TV, streaming, internet, and puppy news you need to survive the work week. All right, so puppy news isn't on it yet, but I'm working on it. Roll the thing!
Reggie Fils-Aimé is retiring. Eagle-eyed fans are combing through every last frame.
I came prepared.
Oh.
Stay right here on IGN.
And keep it locked to IGN.
IGN Now. New news that's new to you.
Introducing the all-new Up-It News.
Don't touch it. What's wrong with you? Get corn snack. Game sucks. Bring it back.
Up at noon, weekends on IGN and YouTube.
Somebody wrote it upside down.
Welcome back. This is IGN Now at Gamescom, or IGN at Gamescom. I keep messing that up. We've been doing this for 5 days.
Technically, it's now.
Don't worry.
It is technically now, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, our next category is Best Games Company, which is kind of a hard one to pick.
Yeah.
This is Seb. You've been sort of involved in this whole thing. How does this category get picked?
Well, this is basically up to the people. It's not up to the board members. You cannot really decide on that because there's so many great games companies, and this is really something that should be up to the people.
So this is decided by fans.
Yes,
absolutely.
Wow. So we just turned it loose to the fans. Where do people go to vote on that? Is it the Gamescom?
Well, there's you can throw in the company, and it's up to the fans to decide. Do they really like what the company has been doing over the past 12 months?
Yeah.
And we all know that some companies did better than others, right?
Yeah, I think it's about the sort of the suite of games that are happening at any given moment, and those things ebb and flow. One year, your favorite company in the world might knock out 4 or 5 games that you absolutely love. The next year, they're laying low and they're developing something for the year after that. And so these things change, and this is a constantly moving target. So this is sort of just like a timestamp on exactly what's happening right now and what people are excited for next.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we are going to check in with the stage in just a minute and see what's going on out there, and let's see what the nominees are.
Hello, I'm here with a German content creator and YouTuber, very famous in our stratosphere. As you can hear, one applause for Saftiges Gnu.
Thank you.
Yeah, those are her friends, and we got her here for the Gamescom award show, and we're presenting the best company. But first of all, how's Gamescom been for you?
Awesome. Very, very awesome. A lot of meet and greets with my company. Awesome games. Will released, so be there or be square.
Exactly. All right, who do you have as the winner for Best Game Company?
The winner is THQ Nordic. Applause.
All right. Congratulations. Here's your award.
Thank you so much. That's awesome. Thank you very much for that award. We appreciate it so much. Thank you very much.
All right, you're going to head inside to answer some questions on how you're feeling, and we're taking a minute for her to enjoy her crowd and fans.
Thank you. Bye.
So THQ Nordic is, of course, the sort of the resurrection of THQ, and they're bringing back a whole bunch of beloved properties. Just here at this show, there's Destroy All Humans, there's SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom getting remastered and brought back. They're keeping Darksiders alive and well. Here's Florian to tell us about it.
Hello, hi.
Hello.
I didn't get the question, but it's great to have that award. Thank you very much.
So, how does it feel to win?
It's awesome. I mean, a lot of people have been hard at work to make it happen. We have all the studios that are working with us to create all the great games that we are showing here at the stage over in Hall 8, and all the people who are contributing to it. So it's one of the best awards we could hope for. Thank you very much.
I mean, I have the feeling that THQ Nordic is like a phoenix rising out of the ashes, and it's bigger than ever, right? There's so many games involved.
Yes, I'm not sure if we are bigger yet, but we are on a good way. So we are still on the rise. We are doing a lot of good things. And for me, as a passionate gamer, it's also great to see more and more great games come that I want to play and that I can't wait to play myself.
Now, your studio is telling a lot of different kind of stories right now, and some are for kids and some are for adults. What defines a game from your studio?
Wow, that's a tough question.
It is, right?
we are looking
hard-hitting journalism here.
We are looking for a fun experience. I mean, we are all gamers in the company, yeah? Everyone, and all have their preferences. So I'm like for a big strategy gamer. We have one who are dedicated to games like SpongeBob that we're seeing here now. We have big fans of Destroy All Humans. I mean, we grow up with the big THQ IPs ourselves. So we are so happy to have the chance to bring them back.
Now, we're seeing a lot of beloved THQ properties kind of getting brought back. In some cases, it's sort of remasters or remakes. Are we going to see maybe new games in beloved franchises that you guys have the rights to?
You can say the words.
You can say, when are we getting Saints Row?
Where's Saints Row?
Where's Saints Row?
We need Saints Row.
Well, I guess our group CEO Lars has already mentioned that, and you have to wait for bigger news. I mean, we have plenty of games that we are showing.
That's true.
New APs as well, like Biomutant, for example. I can't emphasize that more. And also like Destroy All Humans is a fan favorite. SpongeBob is a fan favorite. What we see on social media. It's awesome to bring those IPs back and also to create new games in existing IPs and also to create new IPs.
So while we wait for Saints Row, you guys have lots of stuff for us to play.
Oh, yes.
Excellent.
And can we discuss one short question? I need a very quick answer. I mean, was it your idea to put the Rammstein song above the Destroy All Humans trailers? Yeah.
All the credit goes to the producer, which is Martin Kreuz.
Well, okay.
Great idea, and it worked out totally fine, I think.
I love it. I just want to say very quickly, I would love an HD remake of Deadly Creatures. Please, maybe.
Please. Well, that's a good idea.
I'm just saying.
That would sell tens or 12 copies.
It's already on Steam, so you can at least play it.
That's true.
Anyway, let's check in with the crowd right now. We've got lots more still to come.
Reggie Fils-Aimé is retiring.
Eagle-eyed fans are combing through every last frame.
I came prepared.
Oh.
Stay right here on IGN.
And keep it locked to IGN.
IGN Now. New news that's new to you.
Introducing the all-new Up News.
Don't touch it. What's wrong with you? Get corn snack. Game sucks. Bring it back.
Up at noon, weekends on IGN and YouTube.
Fact. IGN is better at video games than all other outlets.
All video games. Who's a good boy?
We're also the best at being incredibly humble.
I just on you, kid.
I got him.
Yes, yes, yes.
Back. This is IGN at Gamescom now. We are giving out all sorts of awards. Our next category is Best Streamer or Let's Player.
Yeah.
That's another huge big pool to pull from.
Yeah, there's like a ton of people, right? I mean, you also stream.
I do stream, and I have been known to do Let's Plays. And it's interesting because it's such a different relationship you end up having with the game that you are streaming or Let's Playing. Like, I did a Let's Play for Wolfenstein 2, and I remember my capture footage didn't work, and so I ended up playing the game like 6 times because you don't like your reaction, or you didn't record it correctly, or whatever it is. It really is just such a love and passion for your community and for video games themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I tried it once, like to stream, and no one watched it, so I stopped.
I mean, I've done plenty of it. It's an incredibly specific skill set.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's really it's tricky to get the hang of, and I don't know. I've known people who are like streaming is a marathon. Like that is an ongoing thing. I mean, Let's Playing, you can chop it up and get out kind of the sizzle reel best bits. Sid, how would you say the way you approach each one is different? Is it just...
I would say it's totally different. With streaming, especially when I'm doing a personal stream versus streaming at IGN, where you have a producer that's helping you and whatever. Like when I'm streaming, I have OBS open. I am choosing if it's a full picture of me, a full picture of the game, a full picture of the game with me on the side.
Oh God.
You're looking at chat. You're talking to chat. You're also deciding what game to play, and then your game doesn't work, so you're troubleshooting, and it's so much multitasking, where, like you were saying, with the Let's Play, also difficult, you're on, you're not.
I mean, it sounds super stressful.
And at the end of the day, you can still just suck at the game.
Yes, exactly.
So, there's a lot going on there. Let's go to the stage and check in with the winners.
We're here. We're doing it.
Yeah.
This is an amazing category, by the way, because, thank you. I got my own award. This is great.
Let's switch.
Dude, this is the award for a toy that kind of looks like me. There are hundreds of thousands of streamers out there. This is not like game companies. There are so many. So this is a very specific award, and to win it, there's a ton of competition. So let's get right to it.
All right. We have so many nominees, and that's why we can't even read all of them. You guys know who they are because you're watching them 8 hours a day, non-stop. But our winner for Best Streamer or Let's Player is Pete Smeet.
Pete Smeet. Woo! This is huge.
Yeah.
I almost won this, but I didn't try hard enough.
Oh, you didn't.
That's right.
Unfortunately, he couldn't be here right now, but he's sending the best wishes, and I'm sure he'll gladly accept this award.
We'll mail this to him. This is easy to mail, so.
Yeah.
And we're back. Unfortunately, I love that streamers are such they're big time in us, man. They just cruising right. We're like, we have an award for you. They're like,
He's honestly probably not here because he's streaming.
It's very possible. That's something that people don't talk about, is that streaming is can be a full-time job. For a lot of people, it is a full-time job, and that's exhausting. To be on, to be like.
Well, and I think something that people forget is you only see the streamer once they are at the top and they have all this recognition and they're able to do that full time and not have another job. But to get there, oftentimes people are working 9 to 5, coming home and then streaming for 8 hours and sleeping for 3 or whatever the math is there. Yeah, and then going back to work. And it is such they have to be so passionate about the game and about their community, about wanting to succeed. It's not easy.
And I mean, now imagine you play a game that you actually don't like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, You just go on forever?
What do you do? That gets rough. The thing that I want to point out is the community. I think that's one of the really, obviously community management matters in sort of all corners of internet stuff and everything, but specifically with streamers, because I've always like, when I try to explain this to like my stepmom or something, and she's like, why would you watch someone else play video games? I don't get it. And it's more like, oh, what if you had like 1,000 friends over on your couch?
Yeah.
And you've got to keep them entertained. You can't just sit there like a lump. You've got to kind of talk to them and interact. So, it's a strange new world for this.
I mean, we in Germany here we have Gronk, and he's he's the biggest name you can have.
Yeah.
And we met him outside, and there was a fan gathering, fan meeting, and hugging. He's calling it a hugging session because people basically come there to hug him. And it's been crazy. There's been so many people, and there's been tears and laughs, and people were crazy.
Oh man. Well, speaking of a whole lot of people, there's a whole lot of people right over there. Let's check in with them.
Fact. IGN is better at video games than all other outlets.
All video games. Who's a good boy?
We're also the best at being incredibly humble.
I just on you, kid.
I got him.
Yes! Hey, Nick, did you hear about the new Marvel news?
No, what happened? What happened? Hey, what happened? Tell me.
Has this ever happened to you? Good news! It doesn't have to! The Daily Fix is here every day with a concentrated dose of all that gaming, movie, TV, streaming, internet, and puppy news you need to survive the work week. All right, so puppy news isn't on it yet, but I'm working on it. Roll the thing!
And we're back. This is IGN at Gamescom now. Now, this next award is just sort of a tricky one to wrap your head around. This is the Heart of Gaming Award. Gamescom is the heart of gaming, but every year there's sort of an award for the thing that is the most sort of central idea or concept or thing or person, or really just, it can be anything, right?
Yeah, I mean, I love this category because it shows that people actually care about something that might not be here at Gamescom itself. Maybe it's a thought, maybe it's a concept, as you said. We had a ton of people on the list of nominees.
Who decides this? Well, like, is it just a...
Well, it's the people out there. It's the crowd, the people, the fans, actually, that vote for that. And they can hand in nominees. It could be a name, it could be a booth, it could be the meat sticks outside that you eat.
They are good.
If they
very
are
special to
yeah,
see, by
if
the
they are the heart of gaming, well, they would win, theoretically. So everything could win. It could be the robot outside as well.
I like the robot a lot.
Yeah,
I'd be into him winning. That's, I mean, again, that's sort of, I love that feels like sort of like a, I don't know, that's a lifetime achievement award and like just an honorary mention, and it's just like, it's sort of like a catch-all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a million moving parts to bring something of this magnitude together, right? It's the booths, it's the people, it's the developers, it's the fans, it's the companies, it's the merch. It's every single part of this is all part of this, and I think that's like really cool that everything now is on this award, at least on an even playing field.
And I mean, usually it's you are very surprised to see the winner because you never know exactly what or who will be the winner, because everything could be on that list.
I like that. It's like you ask somebody like, guess what I'm thinking. You know?
Yeah.
Well, I would have nominated some of the pretzels because there's tons of them here.
There's some good pretzels.
Very
This
good
is
idea.
secretly
Yes.
a pretzel convention, a great celebration of
All
pretzels.
right. Anyway, we're going to go to the stage and find out who the winner of the Heart of Gaming Award is.
We're back out here. The crowd is still going strong. They're excited. There they are. And we are going to be talking about the Heart of Gaming Award. Now, here to talk about the award are two representatives from the Gamescom jury.
Hello, you guys. Hi. So, this is your award, and I think you want to talk about what this is for specifically and what the important cause of Gamescom this year is. Here you go.
All right, first of all, we want to give a huge thank you not only to everyone standing here in this crowd right now, we also want to thank every booth and every team working so hard on the topic of diversity and accessibility this year to make this Gamescom experience so much better for literally every single one of us.
And it's just not Heart of Gamescom, but also Heart of Gaming. It's about uniting everybody who wants to game and make it happen and make it possible here.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Please go ahead and talk to our friends inside what this really is about, and I can't wait. And thank you guys so much. You're very, very important. I can't fathom it enough.
So obviously, yeah, diversity with a focus on accessibility is a pretty broad concept. So there's not really like one person to give the award to, but you know, we had someone step in. But that is a huge thing. Gaming is for everyone. It brings people together, as you can see outside.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you so much for coming.
How do you feel?
It's just great. It's kind of difficult because we're not really receiving the award. We're more of like the jury who was part of the decision to make this Heart of Gaming award happening. And it's the thought behind it was we noticed throughout the entire week of Gamescom how strongly every booth was trying to make gaming possible for everybody.
Yeah.
We had efforts to have accessibility controllers, to have those knee pads for keyboards to put it down on your laps. We have booth without those annoying little edges. We have an extra map made by the Gamescom for people who are using a wheelchair, an extra map like where can I go, where are the paths, because there are a horrible amount of like wheel escalators and stairs and everything. And additionally to that, there were efforts from many, many different booths. There was the InnoGames Game Jam, who was focused around the topic of accessibility around non-standardized controllers and keyboards and everything, and that was really inspiring to see. And we enjoyed seeing so many people actually using it, many wheelchair users, people with like small kids, old people really enjoying the games here at Gamescom. That's what the Heart of Gaming is about.
Yeah, and it's something we've actually seen recently from Microsoft in their efforts as a tremendously big first-party studio to now introduce controllers that are accessible by everyone. And it's hopefully something we get to see the rest of the gaming world follow and mimic, you know, because it brings everybody to the table. It gives everybody a chance to play video games who couldn't have a chance before. And I appreciate that Gamescom has now become a celebration of that.
Yeah, I think it's one of the most important awards ever. And I mean, it's the first time that we're actually hosting an award show, but to have something like this here means a lot to me. I don't want to tear up, but I think that diversity is something that unites people. And we live in a time where uniting people is so important, and uniting the gaming community, like for us as gamers, is even more important. And we are a family, and I think this award represents that fact, right?
No, I mean, I think that, you know, some people kind of, you know, groan at the idea of diversity, but diversity just means more perspectives on things. It means variety, which is a good thing. We've got lots more coming up. Let's check in with what's going on outside.
Fact. IGN is better at video games than all other outlets.
All video games. Who's a good boy?
We're also the best at being incredibly humble.
I just on you, kid.
I got him.
Yes! Introducing the all-new Up-It Nudes! Up-It Nudes' new and improved recipe is chock full of lists, let's plays, unboxings, special guests, goofs, guffaws, and other content too stupid for regular weekdays.
Like some sort of color-changing reptile stripper man. I'm doing it. Don't touch it. What's wrong with you? Get corn snack. Game sucks. Bring it back.
Up-It Noon, weekends on IGN and YouTube.
German. Ja, Deutsch. Super. Okay, perfekt. Dann machen wir es genau so. Ich hol dich einmal ran. Du sagst einmal Hallo. Ich frage dich einmal, was dein Lieblingsmoment der Gamescom war. schon, dann gehen wir einmal noch zu den Leuten rein.
This is IGN at Gamescom now. We are giving out all sorts of awards for all kinds of wonderful things that have been happening here at Gamescom. Our next award is for the Gamescom Most Wanted Consumer Award, which is one picked by the community, by the fans, by the gamers themselves. We're all gamers, obviously.
Yeah.
What are you guys most wanted? What are you most excited
It's
for?
super tough right now. Like this year, I have the feeling that there's so many games.
Yeah.
Does it have to be limited to this year? Can it
Well,
be
we're in this really
also next year.
We're in a crazy spot right now because we are bridging the gap between generations. We're seeing the tail end of this generation currently right now, which is PS4, Xbox One. Switch is sort of the bridge in the middle, and so we're going to get a bunch of swan songs for that system, and then it's going to ramp up into a whole bunch of new things. I mean, this year alone we have Death Stranding, we have Link's Awakening. Next year we have Cyberpunk. There are just gigantic, awesome games coming our way, and it's really hard to narrow down. But I'm just going to say Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening.
That's a good
What?
answer.
Yeah.
What? Really?
What? Yeah, it's a remake of my favorite game of all time. It's coming to Switch the same day as the Switch Lite. It's a beautiful little handheld. This is going to be an awesome time for me.
I mean, I know that a lot of people are super hyped for Death Stranding, but I have no idea what this game is actually about. So I cannot say that this is my most wanted. Of course, a lot of people also say that it's not Death Stranding, but Cyberpunk.
Yep.
But this is out next year, so I go for let's maybe like Borderlands.
Borderlands?
Sure,
Yeah.
that's a good pick.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Cyberpunk and Death Stranding immensely. Cyberpunk is a game that I've been waiting for very eagerly since it was first announced back in like 2012. I mean,
Hundreds of years ago.
Hundreds of years ago. I
Yeah, they
mean,
were
people
sort of like,
is it
we're
going to come out
making
in 2077? But yeah, so there's that. Death Stranding, I also don't know what it's about. I really don't get it, but I'm so excited to find out what it is. I literally wrote my mother like a very long email because she saw one of the presentations we did here, and I was like, we did a tour of the Kojima merch booth, and she's like, why were you showing off socks and umbrellas? No. And I was like, well, no, Mom, let me explain. It was a very long email to explain why there are Death Stranding socks.
There are a lot of people
Did
right
she
now that are,
understand?
they're sort of, I wouldn't say angry at Death Stranding, but they're confused and befuddled, and they're just sort of like, what is this? What this is a very different experience than what we see sort of annualized in the video game industry. And if you're angry that things are samey all the time and they have numbers at the end of them, this is at least breaking that pattern. What it will be, we're not really sure, but it's something to look forward to.
Well, I mean, the thing, I like Kojima's saying this is going to be a new genre of games, and this is the guy who effectively invented the stealth genre, which is, it's an action game where you avoid the action. Like, it's about trying to creatively get away from fighting stuff. He still fights stuff, but like, he's got some crazy ideas. I mean, that was a game where you could hide in a box. This is a game where you can go to the bathroom. Anyway, to find out what people are actually really excited about, aside from just everything we just said, let's find out the winner.
Thank you, guys. I'm here for the Best Ginger Award. No, of course I'm not, but we're here for the Most Wanted Consumer Award. So this is the game that people have been dying to see, that people have traveled countries and cities for just to play it here. And I'm joined by Lara Loft, who is content creator, streamer, voice actress, singer. She's just like, she's everything, and most of all, gorgeous and talented. So you're gonna be here with your fans presenting the Most Wanted winner.
All right. Okay. And the winner is Borderlands 3.
Oh my God, give it up for Borderlands 3!
Thank you so much. Thanks for everybody that is excited for the game to come out. Everybody at Gearbox and 2K is excited to get this in everybody's hands. September 13th can't come fast enough. We want you to play it so badly. We're so excited. Thank you.
Nice, danke dir.
Another win for Borderlands 3. Clearly this is a game people are very excited about. I know so many people who've sunk hundreds and hundreds of hours into second Borderlands and the other ones. This is the first proper non-pre-sequel in quite some time. Welcome back.
Hey, I'm back.
Welcome back. Seb actually picked the same as the awards did, so this worked out.
I mean, you just said like 100 hours, like a couple of hundred hours. I can say that I played it like for approximately 1,000 hours. So all of these games that are lined up already, and then we have part 3 coming out. I felt like, why it's been taking so long?
Well, it's a big game. We got a lot of ideas in there. We've been percolating on this game for like 4 years now. Hardcore development for about 3 years. We are so close. I mean, we are weeks away. I've been at the office the last couple months. The whole team in Texas and Quebec has just been just burning to try to like fix every bug, polish everything, dial everything in, get the numbers right where they need to be, and we're so close to getting over the finish line.
Awesome. Well, clearly people are very excited to finally get their hands on it. And
yeah, it's crazy. I mean, we've been having like people will stand in line for hours and hours just to come play a demo, and I'm always like, hey, are you having fun? Did you have a good time? And they're like, oh, thank you so much. It was totally worth 3 hours of standing there to play for 20 minutes. It's mind-blowing.
You know, I think it's like something we hadn't considered. There's a lot of games coming out this year, but very few of them, I actually don't even know if any other of them have been, you know, the sequel to something that has been 7 years away.
Yeah.
Like you have a massive audience starving for a new game in this genre, in this franchise, and you're finally delivering it to them. This must be just as exciting. You're like, yes, it's happening.
We're so close.
You're so close.
Yeah, and I mean, we have a lot of fan anticipation on this one, but we wanted to take that time. We wanted to make sure this was the right game. It was Borderlands 2 is a big game. This is a bigger game. We want to make sure if you spent a couple hundred hours, hopefully we'll get you over the 2,000 mark on
Thank
this one.
you.
2,000 hours.
Yeah. I mean, people usually
You could
call
have made
these.
a Borderlands game in that time, maybe.
Yeah.
Not a very good one, I
mean,
don't
it's a
think.
side job at that point. Just take some time off from work.
I mean, people usually call these kind of games like sold IPs because, like, I mean, people know the game. But I have the feeling with Part 3, and even with the stage, people are going crazy about. With the booth, I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, the
I mean,
booth,
like,
yeah.
I mean, kudos to the 2K team that got that booth together. It is a crazy, amazing booth.
All right, I got to cut you off right there. We've got lots more still to come. Taking a quick break right now.
Good seeing you again.
Hey, Nick, did you hear about the new Marvel news?
No, what happened? What happened? Hey, what happened? Tell me.
Has this ever happened to you? Good news! It doesn't have to! The Daily Fix is here every day with a concentrated dose of all that gaming, movie, TV, streaming, internet, and puppy news you need to survive the work week. All right, so puppy news isn't on it yet, but I'm working on it. Roll the thing!
Reggie Fils-Aimé is retiring.
Eagle-eyed fans are combing through every last frame.
I can't prepare.
Oh.
Stay right here on IGN.
And keep it locked to IGN.
IGN Now. New news that's new to you.
Introducing the all-new A Bit News.
Don't touch it. What's wrong with you? Get corn snack. Game sucks. Bring it back.
A Bit Noon. Weekends on IGN and YouTube.
Welcome back. This is IGN at Gamescom now. I'd like to apologize. Just a moment ago, I said we have so much more coming up. That was a blatant lie. We have one award left, and it's a big one. Coming up, we've got the best of Gamescom, the final boss of awards, as it
It could be everything.
That's right.
Everything.
That's right. Once again, this is one of those massive, all-encompassing awards. Opportunity for pretty much anyone to win. But we had an hour down to a few, but we'll get to that in a minute.
But what was your personal best of Gamescom?
I think it was the friendships that I've
friendships?
The friendships that I've gathered here, like at the show, really. I'm now friends with every single person in that crowd, which is great.
In the crowd, wow.
Yeah, this has been really good.
Man, that's a good question.
Well,
there's a lot here. I want to say I really appreciate the soothing music coming out of the Planet Zoo booth. Because there's a lot of places that are. I mean, we're guilty of this too. Just like getting everyone pumped and excited, and they're just like, no, we're gonna have some chill zoo music. Come on up, come by, and relax.
Yeah, shout out to Planet Zoo for having some of the most adorable animals.
I think I will never forget that song. It's stuck in my head now for the next couple of years.
That's right.
For the next year.
No, actually, like serious answer. There was we went and checked out the retro area, which is amazing. It's so cool. It's like this wonderful. It's a bunch of people's personal collections of gaming sort of accoutrement. And there's one set there that's a bunch of weird handhelds. It's like the B-sides, the bootlegs, the nonsense. Everyone knows what a Game Boy looks like. Everyone knows what a PSP looks like. This is like like Brazilian knockoff Game Boys.
It's really great because like the Switch Lite is on the show floor. It's going to be out in just a few weeks. And in the corner of Gamescom, there's the retro area, and there's all these like different versions of systems that almost were, you know. And it's
the guy,
like everything. It's a celebration here.
The guy who's running the retro area is actually a board member as well, and he just released a book about video games or like consoles in the GDR.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was born in the GDR, and I didn't even know that there were video games in the GDR. So that was super amazing to me.
I was reading an article on that. It's very fascinating. Anyway, anything can be up for the best of Gamescom, and now with the winner, let's find out what's going on.
All right, thank you guys. I am so honored and blessed to be here for the Best of Gamescom award. This is it, this is the one, and we can't wait to see who it went to. And I am joined by one of the best streamers, content creators, and YouTubers of Germany. This is Der Heide.
Hi there.
How
Thank you
are
very
you doing?
much. I'm fine. I'm a little bit excited because there's so many people here, and yeah, we're talking about the Best of Gamescom award right now. So.
Yeah, this is no joke, and I'm gonna read the nominees to you, and then we can't wait to announce who this beauty will go to. First off, we have Battle Chaser Night War, the mobile edition. We have Black Sad, Under the Skin. We have Concrete Genie, Desperados 3, Doom Eternal, Dreams, Gears 5, Grid, Planet Zoo,
Roller Champions, Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and Wasteland 3. And the winner is... Dreams!
Yes, congratulations
Make
to
some
Dreams!
noise!
It has won Best of Gamescom, and there you are. Congratulations. Thank you. Well deserved.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. This is incredible. I mean, we would have expected anything, but not this. We're really, really humbled, and it's fantastic that such an unusual product gets such a recognition. So thank you to the jury and all the fans. Check it out in this hall and at our Sony booth. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. And this was it from the awards. We're going to cut back to the studio, have a little summary of all of it, and I'm going to enjoy my time here with Der Heide and the fans. I'm going to give a huge thanks to everyone handing out merchandise and to all the fans here who've been at Gamescom, who've been supporting the genres and the games all in self, including you, including all of you guys. Thank you so much.
Dankeschön. Thank you.
Dreams. That is a wonderful one because this has been in the development for ages and ages, and it is a game where you can make any game you want in it. Here to tell us, joining us once again from Sony, Jochen.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. It's a good day for you.
Well, I didn't expect to be back for this one. This is really a surprise for us, and we're really humbled. It's a shame that our dear colleagues from Media Molecule can't be here. They've been really working very hard the past days to show the game. It's a little bit different. It's not a game at all in a classic sense. It's more a toolbox or a fantastic creative toolbox, and you can make games.
I think a lot of people lost track of. I mean, Dreams was announced early on. Everyone's like, "What is it? I don't know. Let's find out. We can't wait to find out." And then you guys earlier this year launched the sort of
the early access.
Yeah, the creator mode. People are making incredible stuff in there. It's astounding. Have you guys been surprised at how quickly everyone caught on in the community?
It's so far it's over 100,000 creations which are online, made by fans. Actually, if you go over to our booth, what we have there playable is something which is created by the German Dreams community so far.
I mean,
so
who's moderating all of that stuff? There must be a team of
that's a team of Media
people.
Molecule. I mean, we've been working on this for 7 years now, and it's incredible. They showed me some stuff which is going to come out pretty soon from very talented creators, and it's incredible. It's just like full-blown polished games, or will be.
This is the only game in the list of nominees where you can probably make all of the other games in the list of nominees.
I think that's why it won. I think that's the sort of loophole there.
Yeah.
People just want to have the whole concept, right? They want to create their own stuff.
Yeah.
And it has a music creator suite. You can produce music, music videos.
Oh, it's a whole platform.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's a
anyway,
platform.
Huge congratulations to you and everyone else back at Media Molecule. They've all been working very hard. Clearly, they're going back to the office to make sure nobody's putting
they will
anything
be
naughty on
very
that
happy
store.
about this.
That's it. We did it. This has been IGN at Gamescom now. This has been the awards, and we are wrapping things up right now. I would like to say, just on behalf of all of us right here, thank you to everyone who's watching, both in that huge crowd behind us, but also at home, wherever you are around the world. That is incredible. It takes a lot to make Gamescom to come together. It makes it a lot to get a show like this together. So huge thank you to everyone working behind the scenes, all of our camera people, our stage managers, our makeup artists, everyone back there who's just making sure the music is playing and that we are looking at the right cameras. So seriously, thank you so much. Gamescom is the heart of gaming, and we will see you next year.